good, YouTube? It's your boy Young Baller, and Young Baller is here to talk about the Ballers. First, we're going to talk about is Jay Cutler and his new contract. Now, Jay Cutler wears number 10 on the Miami Dolphins. He came from the Chicago Bears and wore number 6. Jay Cutler is a quarterback. Jay Cutler is actually a decent quarterback. Now, Jay Cutler just signed a one-year contract with the Miami Dolphins for $10 million. Now, I believe that the Miami Dolphins got Jay Cutler because their former quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, is injured for the season. So they picked up Jay Cutler for their backup. Now, Jay Cutler left the Chicago Bears organization to go to the Miami Dolphins organization. And that's a good thing because the Chicago Bears was falling apart and Jay Cutler wasn't having a good season. So he left to go to a better organization with better receivers and a better offense. Now, when Ryan Tannehill comes back from his injury, I think the Miami Dolphins are going to extend Jay Cutler's contract if Jay Cutler has a successful contract in this organization. Now, the same thing kind of happened with the New England Patriots when Tom Brady was out for 4 games for a suspension and Jimmy Garoppolo had to back up. And they kept Jimmy Garoppolo this past season because he was a free agent, but they kept him. So I think the Miami Dolphins are going to do the same thing with Jay Cutler and Ryan Tannehill. Jay Cutler had 1,059 throwing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, and a 78.1 rating, which means his completions out of all his throws was a 78%. Now, the season that's coming up, I think he's going to at least get like 3,000 yards with better receivers and a lot more touchdowns and less interceptions because he has better receivers like Kenny Stills, Jarvis Landry, so he's going to be better. Judgment time. Now, I think Jay Cutler did a good thing by leaving the Chicago Bears to come to the Miami Dolphins because he's actually going to help his career because his career was falling while he was with the Chicago Bears. So he did a good thing, and I am for this contract with the Miami Dolphins. Now, story number 2 that we're going to talk about is Devonte Freeman. Now, Devonte Freeman has been playing with the Atlanta Falcons ever since 2013, and that's when he came in the season. So he's been playing for 3 seasons. Now, Devonte Freeman is a running back for the Atlanta Falcons, and he's number 24. Now, Devonte Freeman had 227 attempts, 1,079 rushing yards, and 4.1 average yards, which means every time he runs the ball, he averages 4 yards, and he had 11 touchdowns in the season of 2016. Education time. What is an attempt? An attempt is when a running back, he carries the ball and he gets as many yards as he can. Now, I think the Atlanta Falcons did this move to Devonte Freeman because they saw how much potential Devonte Freeman had in the Super Bowl when the Atlanta Falcons played the New England Patriots, and they liked how the kid was working. So they signed him to a 5-year deal. Judgment time. Now, I think this is a good move for the Atlanta Falcons because Devonte Freeman is the only running back to reach 1,000 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns in the past 2 seasons. So I believe that the Atlanta Falcons can go back to the Super Bowl with this kid's potential. Now, is this a good decision for Devonte Freeman to stay with the Falcons? Yes, it actually is because Devonte actually loves the organization, so he might as well stay with them and not leave. Now, this is Young Baller talking about the Ballers. Make sure you tap that like button, press that subscribe button. Now, see you next week. Peace.